What up, homies? Hail, I am back. Um, we are here to rank the Friday the 13th films to kind of complete the Friday the 13th thing. So, it was fun reviewing those movies again. And, I think overall, aside from, the first three, they kind of all do interchange. But this is my list personally. Friday the 13th is a great franchise. I think it's fun just watching Jason just hack people up. It's fun. So, we're going to start from there's 12 films. There's, the original, then you had part 2, then part 3, then the final chapter, which is part 4, part 5, then Jason Lives, then New Blood, which is part 7. Then you had part 8, Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and the remake. So we've had 11 films. Because remember, I'm not counting Freddy vs. Jason. So, number 11, the final, and in my opinion, the worst Friday the 13th is Jason Goes to Hell. It makes no sense. You saw my review. It's a horrible film. It's not Friday the 13th. I don't blame Adam Marcus. I don't know. I get it. There are some people who like the movie and try to say, well, at least it's different from the original 8, but that doesn't make it good. This one was. Why does Jason have a random sister? Why are you ripping off Halloween? Especially at the time when they were still doing Michael killing family members. It just felt like a ripoff. And Jason's design was weak. Why is Creighton Duke know all this shit about Jason? And we're just introduced to this character. I don't know if it was originally, maybe in the original script, it was supposed to be Tommy, and they maybe just couldn't get the actor back. I don't know. It just didn't make sense. And the whole body switching thing is dumb as fuck. It felt like a nightmare film. It just doesn't work, and I never want to watch it again. To me, this is the only truly bad Friday the 13th. So that is that. Number 10, I guess would be 10 would be uh part I guess part 8, not part 8, part 7. I don't think part seven's a good movie. I like Jason's design, but the whole fucking I don't like the whole fucking uh time, not time travel, psychic shit. It just telepathy shit. It got in way of the story. It just and the whole watering down the kills and all that. It's not a fun movie, but it's not as bad as Jason Goes to Hell. So number 9, I guess would be part 8. Jason takes Manhattan. It's false advertising, but it's watchable. And the final act doesn't really make any sense. Like, why is Jason so obsessed with Rennie and her boyfriend? I don't get it. Like, you're in Manhattan. You don't have scenes of him just killing randoms. I think that would have been more interesting than him just, oh, we gotta have him chase these two. Number 8 will be um, Part 5. I think Part 5 is a decent film. It's just not a great Friday the 13th. Um, you know, some of I like the kills, and I think it's a solid 80s slasher. It does the good job there. Some of the shots on Roy in the end, though, should have killed him. I get it. They wanted you to be. They wanted. They almost wanted to make it ambiguous, like it might be Jason, but the problem was you knew it wasn't just by the body shape. I don't know. But overall, it's an alright movie, and I don't think it's as bad as some people make it to be. I think it's just, at the time, we were connected to Jason for 4 films, and he just gets kind of killed off. Yeah. So I overall love this movie. I mean, not love it, but I like it, and it's watchable. If you don't, it's not a great Friday film. I will give it that, but I do think it's an okay film. Number, I think we're on 7 now. Number 7 will be uh, Jason X. Jason X is fun. Um, I do get why some people don't like it. The whole, and I'll admit it. Remember, I telling you in the review. I remember first hearing about this movie, like Jason in the future. That just sounds dumb, but it's an awesome film, and uh, it's one of my favorites. And uh, it's like Friday, like Jason X, the characters aren't great. It feels like at times like a early 2000s show in the future, just Jason thrown in there. But it's a fun movie, and yeah, like I said, it has my favorite kill in the whole franchise in it. So, I often will watch it in a rewatch. Maybe one day I'll rank the Jasons themselves, like in terms of from, and that one I will include Freddy versus Jason. Um, but so now we're on number 6, so we're getting close to the top 5. 6 would be the original. And I do love the original, but I think the big issue with the original is, like I said, at times it's kind of boring. It's I do love the reveal in the end, but I really do think that's all it kind of has. I do like some of the kills, don't get me wrong. I love the whole first person kills, and I can suspend my disbelief with Pamela doing some of those kills, but it's a watchable flick, and I think it does start off the franchise, but this is the one where I don't think the first one's necessarily the best one. So that's Alice is a weak kind of final lead, in my opinion. I think that's the big issue. Um, I like I said, it kind of drags in the middle for a little bit. It's not horrible. It's still watchable. I just think like the other ones that I'm going to mention in my top 5 are better paced. So number 5 will be part 3, the Jason 3D. This one's great. I love the kills. I don't know the actual actor who plays Jason in it, but I thought he does a good job in it. The lead isn't great, but I think she's serviceable, and I like the final act. I especially like the whole fake out. I kind of would have wished they went with the original ending where they tease like they killed the main lead, like Jason kills her in the end, but they cut it for some reason. So, but this it's serviceable, and I like the whole backstory with Jason. And it was kind of interesting that he killed people outside of Crystal Lake in this. So that's my number 5. Number 4 will be um, the remake. The remake is a good film, and in my opinion, I get it. Some people are like, why would you put the remake over the original? I think the remake is a better film. I'm sorry, I will say it. Objectively, I think the remake's a better film. I do have some issues with it. Like, I don't like the whole Jason kidnapping angle, and I don't like some of the characters, but I do really feel like it has great shots in it. I think Derek Mears kills it as Jason, and it's definitely one I can watch as its own little story, separate from like the original. So, and like I said, I think Jared Padalecki did a decent job, and so did Danielle. God, what's her name? Danielle Panabaker. Yeah, now I remember now. So Danielle Panabaker. I think they did fine. It's just like I said, all around, it's good, and I think it's a well-made movie. You had some really good kills in it. You had some decent, it had what Friday the 13th had. It's just there are moments where I feel like he feels Leatherfacey instead of Jason. The whole traps. Well, that's not really the traps. It's more. keeping the prisoner because supposedly she looked like his mom. No, I don't buy that. So now we're on the top three. So I'm gonna take a hit before I get to that. Sorry about that. Wow, that's a helicopter plane. Whatever. So my number three is Friday Part 2. I think it's a great paced film. I will admit it's not my favorite version of Jason. I do think Jason looks kind of dopey at points in this, like, tripping on chairs and shit. But there are some great kills, and I think it, expanded what the first one got better. It's a better paced movie. Um, and I hold on, I'm gonna look something up. I can't believe I forgot her name. Sorry, guys. I hate doing this like live, like while I'm doing the video, but I just can't think. Just because I don't want to say that girl. So Ginny. I don't know why I forgot her name. So Ginny from Part 2 was actually a great character, and it's fucked up because I have her in my favorite final girls list. But yeah, Ginny was a great character, and Paul's an okay character, but I think it has a good final chase. I love the whole thing at the little shack. Like I said, Jason isn't great. I think that's the only real issue I have with the film. But other than that, I really like it. I like it, and it's definitely one I find myself putting in. Number two is Friday Part 4, the final chapter. In my opinion, objectively, you could say it's a better film than my number one, which we'll get to. And it's a better horror film. I will say that. It's a better horror film. I'll just spoil it. My number one is Jason Lives. So, and you kind of could tell, because Jason Lives, I even said in my review, is my go-to. But I'll get to that one here in a second. And objectively, I think this one's a better horror film. It might be a better film even. But like I said, I love this film too. Especially as a slasher. I think Jason's pretty scary in it. I think the actor's name is Ted White, who plays Jason in this, does a great job. I think Corey Feldman did a decent job as Tommy, as a kid. And the actress who played his sister was pretty good. You had some decent, like, decent, like, victims in terms of, like, the teenagers, very 80s. You had the dad from Back to the Future in there. Crispin Glover was in there. So it was kind of cool. Like, you had some names in this one. And I thought, the opening with Jason killing people at the hospital, which you could tell was maybe a little homage to Halloween 2. And I just all around. And I like the whole, it continues right where Part 3 ended. So it, starts right when Part 3 ends. Has a great ending with Tommy, saying die to Jason. I like that whole scene, and I like it all around. I like the whole rain. And like I said, I would probably say it's the scariest and has some great kills, like Crispin Glover's death, where Jason just fucking corkscrews his hand and then cleavers him in the face. It's like, yeah. Kill wise, think this might be my favorite. But yeah, this one's a great film, and I find myself watching this one all the time, and is easily probably the best Friday in terms of horror film. But yeah, my number one, and I already mentioned, is Friday Part 6, Jason Lives. This is my go-to. I think personally of the, if you want to call them victims and survivors or whatever, has the best acting in it. I think the girl who plays Megan's decent. The guy who plays her dad is decent, even though his character's a bit annoying how he just doesn't believe Tommy. But whatever, that's not really a fault of the movie. But I really love this movie. I love the opening, them digging him up and it goes wrong. Jason's pretty badass in it. You have some decent kills. I actually like Jason's look in it. And for me, I've always said I prefer zombie Jason. I just do. I think that's what will make him different to me than Michael. He's not just like when he's a human to me, he's almost not that much different than Michael. He's a big husk who kills people. I actually like that when he's a zombie. It's almost like that's his uniqueness to me. And I love his look. I love the whole meta fourth wall breaking. So this was almost like what, a decade before Scream. Um, so you had like a lot of kind of fourth wall jokes in there. Like when Jason killed that one dude and just like had his arm and Jason was just looking at it. It was I fucking love it, man. And I love Tom Matthews as Tommy. He's my Tommy. You know, aside I like Corey Feldman in four, and I don't hate the guy in five. I just didn't really there wasn't a lot to say about him, but the guy in five was okay. But fucking Tom Matthews to me, he is Tommy. Even in like the Friday game that came out, the Tommy they use is Tom Matthews Tommy from Part Six. It's just he's so good. I think he kills it. He's charismatic. You know, the scene where he runs into the sheriff, and like I said, there's some great kills in it. It's the fourth wall breaking. It's my go-to Friday film. Every time when I'm in the mood, oh, I'm gonna put a Friday film on. That's my number one. Then I would put, Friday, the final chapter. But like, that's my number one. And I love this franchise. And like I said, my list, like I said, aside from Jason Goes to Hell, that is like the only one I flat out like. I feel like it deserves that ranking because it's not. The other ones aren't like. Part 8 isn't horrible. It's watchable. That's why I was like, I kind of just like, I'll put it here. But yeah, like number one is my top 3 are the only ones that really matter. You know, the other ones can kind of. But I love this franchise, and it was fun reviewing it. It's not like Halloween, but you know what? It doesn't have to be. And I think Jason's a great killer, and it's stupid as fuck that unfortunately it's gonna be in like legal fucking shit for a while. So we should be getting a Friday film right now. Because realistically, I've been saying Friday's like the easiest one you can bring back. It's cheap. It doesn't require a lot of special effects. Honestly, if anything, have the same. You could do a Friday film the same budget you did it with the remake. Honestly, maybe a bit more, but yeah, it's stupid. So, that is my ranking of the Friday films. I will be doing that soon with Friday with Nightmare. So, Monday, I will be reviewing Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Then Tuesday we'll be doing Freddy vs. Jason finally. So yeah, that's my next 2 Nightmare reviews. But other than that, I'm gonna take a hit. We'll peace out. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.